Listen closely. The moment you are standing in is not ordinary. The air around you feels heavier because something unseen is taking shape. You have only 2 hours left to decide what kind of future you will live. 2 hours that can rewrite years of struggle or leave them frozen in place. This message is not here to frighten you. It is here to awaken you. It comes to open your eyes before they close again to what truly matters. If you walk away now, the weight of that silence will follow you for a long time, because this is your appointed moment, a doorway that will not stay open forever. You may not understand why you have found these words right now. Perhaps you were searching for something else. Perhaps you were restless or simply curious. But this meeting is not a coincidence. It is a crossing of paths arranged long before you knew what you needed. The voice that reaches for you now has seen your heart breaking in quiet rooms, has watched you turn the same questions over and over in your mind. When will things change? When will something finally make sense? The answer begins here, in the stillness between these sentences. The next 2 hours are not about minutes on a clock. They are about what happens when time and truth collide. For too long you have been drifting between what you feel and what you fear. You have chased approval, hidden pain, built walls, and then wondered why you feel alone inside them. But the season of hiding is ending. The hand of grace is stretching toward you, asking for your attention, asking for your yes. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. You have 2 hours to lean in, to choose listening over noise, to choose life over delay. There is a pulse moving through these words, a rhythm older than memory. It beats like a drum inside your chest, calling you to remember that you were made for more than surviving. You were made for light. You were made for peace. But peace cannot enter a heart that keeps its doors locked. You have stood at this threshold before and turned away, thinking you still had time. Now you are being told clearly, this is the moment that counts. Every hesitation before was forgiven. Every mischance was recorded only so that you would understand the value of this one. Perhaps you think 2 hours is too short to change anything. But a single heartbeat can decide a life. A single word can rewrite a story. And a single act of surrender can break the power of years of confusion. You do not need to solve everything. You need only to stop running. Let stillness find you. Let truth speak to you. Within these next 2 hours, what you choose to hear and what you choose to ignore will shape everything that follows. You have carried heavy questions about your worth, about your purpose, about whether the pain you've walked through has any meaning. The answer has always been waiting, gentle but persistent, whispering through every narrow escape, every unexpected comfort, every moment when you should have been crushed but somehow were not. You are still standing because mercy has been standing with you. And now mercy calls your name again, asking if you are ready to listen. Look back for a moment. Remember the nights when you said, if something out there is real, send me a sign. This is that sign. The chance to begin again is being offered to you, but it will not force itself upon you. You must decide to take it. The next 2 hours are the quiet edge between the life you have known and the one that waits to begin. You can stay in the loop of regret, repeating the same old doubts, or you can step through this unseen gate and find out what freedom actually feels like. You may feel a stirring in your chest right now, a warmth, a trembling, a sense that you are being watched over. That is no accident. It is the pull of destiny reminding you that you are not lost, that every breath still carries promise. But destiny can be ignored, and ignored destiny turns into regret. That is why the warning feels sharp. Do not walk away. Do not scroll past. Do not drown this voice with distractions. You have asked for direction, and direction is standing right in front of you. These 2 hours are holy ground disguised as ordinary time. Every tick of the clock is a reminder that delay is a thief. The life you want is not somewhere far away. It is waiting on the other side of a decision you have postponed too long. The change you crave will not come from the world around you. It will come from the courage to open your heart. Right now, the invitation is simple. Listen. Let the words reach you. Let them do what comfort and logic never could. Let them remind you that you are seen, known, and loved beyond the limits of what you can imagine. There is a tenderness watching you, patient but not passive. It has watched you fight invisible wars, seen you smile when you were breaking inside, and still it has not turned away. That same tenderness is what presses close now, asking for permission to help you. You do not have to understand how everything works. You only have to believe that this message found you for a reason. Your life has been a series of near misses and narrow escapes because something greater has been keeping you for this moment. Comment Amen. I believe healing is coming now if you're expecting God's restoration. Do not let the noise in your mind talk you out of listening. The voice that says this is just words is the same one that kept you in cycles of doubt. The whisper that says nothing ever changes is afraid of what will happen if you believe. Push past it. Keep reading, keep listening, keep breathing in the possibility that something good could finally be true for you. You are closer to a turning point than you realize. Imagine standing at a crossroads with the wind pulling in 2 directions. One path looks familiar, safe, predictable, filled with the same great days. The other feels uncertain but alive. The first path asks for nothing, the second asks for courage. These 2 hours are the time given to choose. Every moment you hesitate, the old path grows colder, and the new one begins to fade. But if you move, even by the smallest step, everything will begin to shift in your favor. The urgency you feel is not meant to frighten you. It is the pulse of love in motion. It is the reminder that opportunities are living things, and they do not linger where they are not embraced. Love is knocking at the door of your will, waiting to see if you will answer. All the pain you have carried was never meant to end in bitterness. It was meant to prepare you to recognize truth when it finally arrives. And truth is here now, whispering that the past cannot define you unless you choose to keep wearing it. Maybe you are thinking, why now? Why should I believe this? Because even as you question, something inside you already knows that this is different. There is a stillness behind these words, a peace pressing through them, asking to be trusted. Trust it. The next 2 hours are your invitation to let go of pretending, to let honesty have its say. You do not need to perform strength anymore. You do not need to keep proving your worth to a world that has never understood your heart. You are allowed to rest, to believe that love can find you even here, even now. So breathe. Let this moment settle. Feel how the noise begins to fall away when you pay attention. This is what awakening feels like, not thunder, but clarity. The air thickens, your heartbeat steadies, and you realize you are not alone. Something greater is near, waiting to walk with you out of confusion. But it will not drag you. It waits for your yes. Every second of these 2 hours is charged with that invitation. Say yes to listening. Say yes to being changed. Say yes to the possibility that your story is not over. Before these 2 hours pass, you will have a chance to decide who you want to be. You can remain the person who almost believed, who almost changed, who almost healed, or you can become the person who finally did. The world around you may not notice the difference at first, but heaven and earth will. Every small choice you make toward light ripples farther than you can see. The first ripple begins now with the decision to stay, to listen, and to open your heart to what comes next. The countdown has already begun. The clock is not your enemy. It is your reminder that time is a gift, and gifts must be opened before they expire. You have 2 hours. Use them to choose life, to choose peace, to choose hope. Do not waste them wondering if you deserve it. The very fact that you are here means you are meant to be. The path you have walked was not a mistake. It was preparation for this moment of awakening. Step into it fully. Let the words that follow become the turning point you have prayed for. Stay until the end, and you will understand why this message found you today. You are seen. Every secret ache, every tear that fell when no one was looking, every moment you tried to hold yourself together while your heart was breaking, none of it has been missed. There has been an unseen presence beside you the whole time, quiet but never absent, watching with compassion as you walked through the nights that felt endless. You may have thought no one noticed your struggle, but the eyes of love never left you. In the still corners of your room, when the weight of the day pressed down on your chest, a gaze full of mercy rested on you and whispered, "I am here." There were days when you smiled for others while pain lived behind your eyes. You laughed to keep from crying, spoke strength to hide the trembling inside you. Yet even then, the truth was known. Every false smile, every deep sigh, every whispered question that rose from your heart, each one was gathered like pearls into the hands of the one who cares for you. Nothing about you has ever been a mystery to that love. You have been watched in secret, not as an object of judgment, but as someone precious beyond measure. Think of the times when you sat alone, feeling that nobody could possibly understand the storm inside your mind. You looked around and saw people moving on with their lives while yours seemed frozen in pain. You thought, "No one sees me." Yet a quiet voice answered, "I do." That voice followed you through the long corridors of doubt, through crowded streets and silent nights. It has always been near, even when you did not know what to call it. It saw every choice, every mistake, every victory, and every defeat, and it kept whispering the same thing: "You are not alone." You have walked through seasons of loss that left your hands empty. You buried dreams that once made you feel alive, and you feared that nothing good could ever grow again from the ground of your heart. Still, there was a light watching over you, patient and kind, waiting for the moment when you would look up and realize that the story was not over. That light walked beside you when you had no strength left to pray. It carried you when you could no longer carry yourself. When you cried into the darkness, asking why no one cared, that same light was bending low, counting every tear. No drop was wasted. Each one became a seed, hidden for a time, destined to bloom into something you cannot yet imagine. The silence you heard was not absence, it was listening. The stillness you felt was not rejection, it was protection. You were never abandoned, only being guarded until the right moment of healing could begin. There were prayers you thought were ignored. You asked for answers, and the sky stayed quiet. You begged for signs, and nothing seemed to move. But those prayers were not lost in the wind. They were stored, treasured, recorded in a place where time does not erase them. Every word you spoke in pain became part of a larger plan unfolding slowly and precisely. The reason you are hearing these words now is because that plan is reaching its turning point. You have wondered why the path was so rough, why it seemed that help came to everyone else but you. The truth is that while you were walking through the hardest parts, you were being shaped. Every trial carved depth into your soul. Every disappointment stretched your capacity for compassion. The unseen presence that watched you in secret was not indifferent. It was guiding you through lessons that could only be learned in the dark. You did not see the hands that steadied you, but they were there, keeping you from falling beyond recovery. Even the mistakes you regret so deeply have been seen through eyes of mercy. The moments you wish you could erase are known completely, yet they do not define you. They are chapters, not your whole story. The watcher of your soul has never turned away in disgust. Instead, love leaned closer, whispering hope into the places shame tried to hide. The parts of you that you call broken are the very parts that draw compassion near. If this message touched your heart, don't just scroll, take a moment to give thanks. Support our mission through the Super Thanks button below and help us keep spreading God's love everywhere. Do you remember the times when danger brushed close and somehow passed by? The sudden delay that kept you from being in the wrong place at the wrong time, the quiet feeling that told you to turn back, the stranger who appeared just when you needed help. These were not coincidences. They were quiet interventions. The one who sees in secret has been arranging your steps more carefully than you can comprehend. Every detour, every closed door, every unexplained change has been working toward your preservation. There were also moments of joy, small and fleeting, but real, the laughter that surprised you, the peace that came for no reason, the sunrise that made you pause. Those were reminders sent to keep your hope alive. They were gentle touches saying, I am still with you. Even when you were angry, even when you said you were done believing, that patient presence did not withdraw. It stayed, waiting for your heart to soften again. Look back at your life, and you will see the thread of that care woven through everything. You survived things that should have destroyed you. You found strength when you thought you had none. You kept walking when the road disappeared beneath your feet. That was not luck. That was love. You were being carried through invisible arms, through storms that would have crushed you if not for that hidden grace. And now, as you read these words, that same gaze rests on you again. It has never looked away. It has seen every tear glisten on your cheek, every thought you were afraid to speak aloud, every night you lay awake staring at the ceiling, begging for the pain to stop. It saw you trying to be brave when you felt small. It saw the kindness you showed others while feeling empty inside. It saw the courage it took just to keep living. That gaze has followed you into every shadow, and it still calls you beloved. You have not been forgotten. You have been watched over with a care that never sleeps. The presence that saw you fall has also seen you rise. The one who knows every fear in your heart also knows every spark of hope that refuses to die. You think your faith has been weak, but even the smallest fragment of it has been enough to keep the connection alive. The bond between you and the one who loves you most cannot be broken by distance, by silence, or by doubt. There is a reason this moment feels heavy with meaning. It is the realization that all the years of wandering have not been wasted. Every hidden moment of endurance was known and honored. The quiet strength you showed when nobody thanked you, the forgiveness you gave when no one asked, the compassion you offered out of your own emptiness, all of it was seen. It has been written into the record of eternity as proof of the beauty still alive within you. You are being reminded now that nothing about you is invisible. Your tears are prayers. Your sighs are psalms waiting to be finished. Your life has been watched with the tenderness of a parent who refuses to look away from their child's pain. And that same love that watched will also heal. It is drawing near even now, urging you to rest in the knowledge that you are fully known. The voice that says, "I have watched you in secret," is not cold or distant. It is warm with compassion. It speaks from a place of deep understanding. It knows why you are tired, why you question, why you hide parts of yourself. It knows the story behind every scar, the meaning behind every silence. And still it calls you precious. Still it calls you home. Let that truth settle into you. You have not been unseen for a single moment. The seasons of loneliness were not empty. They were filled with an invisible companionship that refused to let you fall completely. When you felt yourself slipping into despair, gentle hands lifted you. When you closed your heart to everyone, love waited just outside the door. And now it is knocking again, asking to be let in, not as a stranger, but as the one who has been with you all along. Do not be afraid to believe this. The one who has watched you is not here to condemn you. You are being invited into freedom, into the safety of being fully known. All the walls you built to protect yourself can finally come down because you are already protected by something stronger than fear. Every secret you thought disqualified you has been seen and forgiven. Every unanswered prayer is being gathered into a larger answer you will understand in time. So lift your head. Feel the gaze that rests on you, not heavy with judgment, but filled with affection. It sees who you truly are beneath the mistakes and masks. It has seen the goodness you tried to hide because the world misunderstood it. It has seen the depth of your longing for peace, and it promises that your longing will not be in vain. You are known. You are watched over. You are loved. The eyes that saw you in your darkest hour are the same eyes that now call you toward light. You can stop running because you have already been found. You can stop hiding because you are already understood. The unseen presence that followed you through every valley still walks beside you, steady and sure, ready to guide you into healing. Take a breath and let that awareness sink deep. Nothing about you has ever been forgotten. Every piece of your story matters. You have been held, guarded, and cherished through it all. And as you move forward, the same love that has watched in secret will continue to walk with you openly, turning every tear into strength, every fear into wisdom, and every silent prayer into a song of new beginnings. Time is moving, and though every second feels ordinary, this moment is not. The hours before you are sacred. They hold a weight that eternity recognizes. You stand now at the thin place between what has been and what could be. The clock continues to turn, but its rhythm is no longer just a measure of passing minutes. It is the sound of an invitation, a heartbeat calling you to choose. 2 hours remain in this holy window, and every breath you take inside them is charged with meaning. This is not about a deadline written on paper. It is a spiritual countdown, a signal that a door long held open is beginning to close. Not in punishment, but in mercy. There comes a time when waiting becomes delay and delay becomes loss. You are standing at the edge of that line now. This window has been crafted for you, a personal opportunity carved out of divine timing, made to bring you back to the place where you belong. Look around at your life. You can feel that something is shifting, can't you? The familiar no longer fits. The noise you used to drown your thoughts no longer satisfies. Old distractions feel hollow. That uneasiness in your chest is not anxiety, it is awakening. It is the signal that you have reached the turning point, and heaven is waiting for your response. The path you choose in this moment will decide how the next season of your life unfolds. You are being asked to decide, will you surrender to what is calling you, or will you keep resisting? The voice that has followed you through every storm is not demanding, it is pleading. It knows what lies ahead if you turn away again. More wandering, more cycles of confusion, more nights of feeling that something essential is missing. But it also knows what waits if you say yes, a peace you have never known, a freedom that cannot be stolen. 2 hours. That is what separates one reality from the other. Say amen. Your word is my lamp if scripture lights your path every day. Every soul has moments like this, crossroads hidden in plain sight, where the ordinary suddenly becomes eternal. Some recognize them and step forward, others look away, promising to come back later. But later rarely comes, because the door that is open now will not stay open forever. Life keeps moving, and with it, hearts harden, distractions multiply, and opportunities fade into memory. This is why the call feels urgent. The countdown is not a threat. It is an act of grace, reminding you that what you postpone today might be impossible tomorrow. You may wonder why the window is closing, why it can't stay open until you feel ready. Readiness is not the same as willingness. You have been made ready through every hardship, every delay, every unanswered prayer. The waiting has shaped you into someone who can finally understand. What is being asked of you now is not perfection but surrender. All that is left is the choice to let go of resistance and step into trust. Think about how often you have stood here before. You felt the same pull, the same quiet knowing that it was time to change, to forgive, to believe again. And yet, fear always whispered that you had more time. So you stayed still, promising yourself that one day you would listen. But one day never came. The seasons changed, the years moved on, and the space for transformation grew smaller. Now that space has returned for a brief moment, a final invitation before it passes again. This is not meant to scare you. It is meant to wake you. You know what it feels like to drift, to lose sight of purpose, to exist instead of live. This moment is your chance to step out of that fog. It is as if the universe itself has paused, holding its breath, waiting to see what you will choose. If you surrender, you will not lose control, you will gain direction. If you let go, you will not fall, you will be carried. Imagine standing before two doors. One leads back into the same confusion that has drained your spirit for years. The other leads into the unknown, but it is lined with light. You can feel warmth seeping from underneath it. You can hear peace whispering on the other side. And yet, fear keeps your hand frozen. That is the battle of this hour. The next 2 hours are the time given for courage to win. If you take the step, everything will begin to align. If you hesitate, the light will dim, not because it hates you, but because it will move to find someone ready. This moment hath been planned for longer than you can imagine. The unseen realm has been preparing it, threads of timing, chance meetings, gentle nudges, all woven together to bring you here. You were not late arriving. You are exactly on schedule. The only question left is whether you will answer. The clock is ticking, not as a warning bell, but as a song urging you to move before silence returns. You might say, I need more proof, more certainty. But faith has always begun without seeing. It starts when you choose to believe that what calls you is real. And once you take that first step, confirmation will follow. The door will not slam shut the instant the 2 hours end, but the ease with which you can find it again will fade. Hearts that hesitate grow heavy, ears that delay grow dull. That is why the invitation is loud now, why the sense of urgency beats like a drum in your chest. It is love trying to save you from numbness. Look back at the times you almost gave up, when hope felt like an empty word. Something kept you alive, kept you curious, kept you looking for meaning. That something is the same force reaching for you now. It is saying, do not waste this chance. This is the hour I made for you to begin again. You have searched for signs, for miracles, for answers written in the sky. But sometimes the miracle is simply being told the truth at the right time. This is that truth. 2 hours. They are not punishment. They are mercy measured in time. They are the last pages of one chapter and the blank beginning of another. What you write on them will determine how your story continues. If you fill them with faith, they will open into promise. If you fill them with fear, they will fade into repetition. You have lived enough cycles of regret. This is your window to step into freedom. There will be distractions trying to pull you away before the 2 hours end. Memories, doubts, messages, obligations, all will rise like waves to steal your focus. But you are stronger than the noise. You know what is true. You can feel that this is not just another moment. Stay with it. Let the world wait while you make this decision. Nothing you miss outside these 2 hours will compare to what you will gain inside them. You have asked for purpose. This is where purpose begins, with a willingness to trust that love is reaching for you. You have asked for a sign. This is it, the quiet insistence in your spirit that says, now. The heaviness in your chest, the stirring that feels like fear but is really awakening, that is your signal. Step toward it. Choose surrender instead of control. Choose listening instead of noise. Choose life instead of delay. Time is not your enemy. It is your reminder that every opportunity has a heartbeat. This one is still beating, but faintly. You can feel it in the rhythm of your pulse, in the heat behind your eyes, in the urge to cry without knowing why. That is your spirit recognizing truth. Don't run from it. Sit with it until the tears become peace. You will know you have chosen rightly when the fear begins to dissolve and calm takes its place. When the clock reaches the end of these 2 hours, something within you will settle one way or another. Either you will have stepped forward and found freedom, or you will have turned away and felt the weight of unfinished surrender. There is no punishment waiting, only the ache of what could have been. But if you respond, if you let go and trust, you will look back on this time as the hour your life began to change. This is why the countdown matters. It is not about numbers. It is about readiness. It is about a moment designed to break the loop of hesitation. It is love giving you a final, clear choice. Continue wandering or come home. Every second that passes is another chance to say yes. Every breath is a quiet agreement with grace. You have 2 hours left to step into the life that has been waiting for you all along. Do not waste them. Do not let the noise steal them. Sit in the quiet, listen, and answer. The window is still open. Step through it before it closes. There is a battle around you that your eyes cannot see. It moves quietly through the spaces between thoughts, through the pauses in your day, through the moments when you feel the tug of hope and the pull of despair at the same time. You may think these are just moods or passing emotions, but they are more than that. They are signals from a deeper war, a war that has always been about your heart. Every life carries a light, and darkness has always hated that light. From the beginning of your story, something pure within you drew attention in the unseen world. It is the part of you that believes in kindness even after being hurt, the part that still hopes when everything says to give up. That spark makes you dangerous to everything that feeds on hopelessness. And so, the struggle began. The enemy of your peace has never needed grand weapons. It uses distraction, confusion, and delay. It whispers small lies that sound like truth. You're not enough. You'll never change. No one really cares. It hides inside your ordinary days, twisting the way you see yourself until you forget the beauty you were born with. When it can't destroy you outright, it tries to exhaust you. It fills your mind with noise, your calendar with busyness, your heart with fear. It knows that if it can keep you running in circles, you'll never have time to listen to the quiet voice that calls you home. You have felt this battle even if you could not name it. The restlessness that wakes you at night, the sudden waves of anger or sadness that have no clear reason, the feeling that something important is missing that is the echo of the fight. Forces of darkness press close, trying to convince you that peace is impossible, while forces of light surround you, whispering that freedom is still within reach. Every thought, every choice, every heartbeat becomes ground that one side or the other can claim. When your mind feels like a storm, it is not weakness, it is resistance. The part of you that still wants to believe, still wants to love, still wants to rise, is under attack because it matters. The enemy would not fight so hard for something worthless. The confusion that clouds your thoughts, the self-doubt that gnaws at your joy, are signs that your life holds power. If your purpose were small, darkness would leave you alone. The battle rages precisely because you are meant for more. Type Amen if you believe God is writing a new chapter in your life, and share this video so someone else can find hope for theirs.